job of figuring out how to make it work
Yeah.
and take them apart and piece it together that way.
It looks great.
But I found the first two early 2009, and then I just, through pure luck, found the rest within, I would say, a 5 or 6 month period at the end of 10. So.
There were two pairs that you got now straight to me from the buyer.
Yes, actually. So after I commissioned you, I found 5, and we said last year that it took 3.5 to make a suit jacket. You said with 1 pair for your legs. And so I figured, oh, I've got 5. That's great. So I sent the 5 off to Steve already, and then I just managed to find 2 more at the same time. And I think, well, this is great. If it screws up, I won't have to sweat it, right? Not that you screw up. I'm just saying, if the scissors just happened to turn the wrong way, it would be done for. It was less stress for him, so that made me deal with it. But as you can see, this pair here, we didn't use because it's just, see how worn out it is? These really thin cotton, they scratch easy. You put them into the wash too many times, they fade, and you actually found out something about fading too. The suit out this way.
Oh, yes. Literally yesterday, I was at Olympia, where they've got the new Doctor Who Experience exhibition, and they've got to display all the costumes of the Doctors. A mixture of recreations and some originals, but the 10 that's on display there is a complete original 10.
Yeah.
And the suit is the same colour as that pair of trousers that Karen's got there, where they're faded. It's nowhere near as light, nowhere near as dark as the suit that he's got on.
Yeah.
So I think they're just washed and washed and washed.
Yeah, that's really clean and one to me.
And dirty old anyway. Of course, there's the blue suit, which is a wonderful original on its own. And I showed you the swatch from that. This is another. I think this is a photograph that you got.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's the one that's on display. I think they had those on display just because they had more. Here's kind of a close-up of the 2 fabrics next to each other. Funny thing is I found a pair as I was buying up Gap pants. These were only made in the UK. That's the only place I've been able to find them, and I don't think they were ever released in the US. These, however, are stitch and thread identical to their UK cousins, but they're great. So,
Released in the US.
if you're looking, I don't know if you want your femme doctor to have a skirt or pants or whatever it is, but if you're able to find these are on eBay all the time. eBay, USA. Find a pair, buy them, see if they fit you, and you know exactly what size pants that you have. You want to make yourself a pair of pants. So it's kind of a nice alternative if you want to do that. Take more.
Oh, that's a pretty classic fit.
Yeah.
That straight cut fit is the same thing. They still make those trousers
Yeah.
in that cut, obviously different fabric, but you can still get those.
It's pretty neat. I want to mention too, have some leftovers. Yakuza fabric, if you'd like a souvenir scratch, remember the poor dead 10th Doctor film?
We're see the panel.
If anyone's doing an 8th Doctor, I've got scraps left over of the staffing used to match this, as well as this fabric. So if you need some matching, I got these two.
Oh my gosh.
I never wanted to make 8 before, but now I do. Anybody doing 11? Want to do 11?
Oh, I did one for my son.
Anybody want to or already doing one? Already have one?
I'm 11 for tomorrow.
You got a Fem 11 for tomorrow?
Awesome.
Where's the best place to buy tweed?
I found my tweet at Joanne's kind of a mix between the beginning of Series 5 and the Series 6 jacket, because it's kind of got that kind of plaid over. That's just, for me with fabric, I live in Utah, so I find it where I can.
I don't know if I have any pictures of it, but you got, the 2 different kinds of tweed that he wears. Of course, he's wearing new stuff now in the new series, but it's a different pattern.
I don't like the new shirt. I hate the new shirt.
The Paul Smith shirt was my favorite part of the whole costume.
It was cool. It's
You live on in your heart.
Am I right in thinking that 11, at least the Series 5 version of the costume, because I know we haven't really ID'd much of all of the current costume, is probably the most off, well, it was, it's not available much more, but was the most off the rack you could have bought throughout.
yeah.
And also I thought fashionable, because there was a lot of stuff in the UK press around the time when he was filming Series 5, where already the thing for the next series, for the next season, the fashion was tweeds and skinny jeans. and bow ties were suddenly coming back. And there's all these fashion things in newspapers and magazines, and it was all tweeds and skinny jeans. And I thought, wait a minute, this is dressing as a doctor, but it's for the first time ever, he's almost not wearing what is fashionable now, as opposed to wearing something which is
And Fez sales have gone up.
Do we know if his tie is actually one that he physically ties, or is it one?
In Series 6, it's an actual tie.
So they actually do show that there's an actual
They
one.
look a lot different if you're tying it, because it's a little bit bulkier.
This is the sixth one.
Yeah. This one, there's a little bit bulkier if you're actually tying it. Looks a little bit different shape too. And he's both ties.
My son's is not because he's 6 years
Oh.
old. Yeah.
This is my favorite 11th cosplayer.
Oh my god.
I'll send you Joseph's.
Yeah.
Jack Vernon. He's 6. And he's a chip. Yeah.
He doesn't it?
I actually, he's not wearing it there, but I actually made him a Matt Smith shirt. Yeah, I did a scaled down version. And when you were talking about question marks, when I came to make his shirt, I thought, because he's so small, I don't want to go using the design adult size. Yeah, I thought, well, also I'm not sure what pattern size to do because he's such a sort of extra small. I've got artwork for a shirt. I literally just scaled it 85%, and I scaled the pattern and the actual sort of cutter guide as well. So he's got the right number of squiggles across the button stand, but the button stand doesn't look too
You
wide.
see him if you watch your question marks. It's fun. Awesome. So he saw it to scale. He's actually scaled down. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was scaled down. It was a little bit long in the sleeve, but at least he's got some brain in it. So he works each other.
Right up with where.
Are we got
Wait,
any questions?
where'd you find the suspenders? Where did he find the suspenders?
Oh, the braces.
For him? Because I can't find any for my 6-year-old. I had to physically make them.
I'm
Online,
not sure where Jack's
not
got.
online, there's different sellers through Amazon and through different websites that we did. We found braces, suspenders for my son, for his, because we had, it's not a tweed coat, but it's a houndstooth check, which from a distance looks very, and he's 4 years old. And so you just take your measurements and you can find like a tuxedo supply place or things like that. We'll have for
The little
weddings,
boys.
We'll have small suspenders, small bow ties. We found
Oh, I
a
made his
shirt
bow
that's
tie.
Not exactly like it, but it's got burgundy stripes. It fits the bill. He's 4 years old.
Right.
He thinks he's the doctor.
Yeah.
Anybody going to be cosplaying as Doctor Who?
Yeah, where's the fishing photos?
You know,
Yeah.
you know, there's like literally. I think that we were talking about this. There's like only one photo, production photo of his head. It looks like a high school graduation photo.
Yeah.
And that's it.
It was really a bear, actually, to try to find source material. But the funniest thing is, like, by the time they got to the second film, it was, Invasion. The Daleks. It was all about the Daleks. I mean, Doctor Who isn't even in the title. And Bob and I were looking at some vintage posters a moment ago from the second film. And it's like, Peter Cushing's not even on the, on half the posters. It's all Daleks, 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 Daleks. But the thing was, he actually did have two different outfits in both films, so they both had a basic look to them. That he had a corduroy, really more of a corduroy frock, which I just went with a vintage store. This is actually the $80 version of Dr. Wu. And but the thing was that they actually did. It looked like they got a little extra money into the second film. That he started getting vests with like little birds embroidered in flowers and stuff embroidered into the vest, and the coat had some variations on it. He had a different colored scarf. The pants, they did some. First one, they had more of a checkered type style. The second one, it just looked like it was just more of a gray, stripy.
We're lucky
type
that
thing.
since that was in color, he wasn't all rainbow.
No, well, yeah, it was Technicolor film. It was the first time we actually got to see Daleks in color.
Yeah.
You know.
And they all got Technicolor. They were
Yeah, they were all Technicolor. I mean, they look like the latest season practically. You know.
Yeah, that's true.
But the funny thing was that even between two films there was slight variations. He had a style, then they varied it from there. But yeah, finding you know, I was doing screen captures of very poor resolution DVDs, you know, to go through this thing. And but anyway, if you have any questions on doing a Peter Cushing costume,
I want to see a Femme Peter Cushing costume next year.
I can try it.
For any other unbound doctors, first the fatal death, or
Yes.
Okay.
I couldn't decide on the doctor, so I decided why not do an item of clothing from each of them.
Okay. CJ.
So
Sorry, I'm taking a photo of me putting on a piece
God.
of every doctor's costume because I was really bored. And it's on Facebook.
no, you've been working on your stuff for this coming convention. So 3 days around the glue. Bob was had sleepless nights. Pretty much, he was in a bit of a stupor. So we just started putting different bits on. It was an interesting amalgamation.
Yeah.
well, it's actually kind of harder than it looks because you have to decide. Well,
Yeah.
you can only wear one coat. Whose coat is it going to be?
Right.
So
Wear
and then
one
you have
with
to
a
work
cat
around.
pin and you got.
What did you do?
Wear a cat pin and you get 6 covered.
I had half of the Davidson coat on this side and half of the.
Do we have this picture?
Was it Colin?
I don't have.
No,
No, I wish I did. Was it 8?
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
got the
8.
picture.
And of course, you wore a scarf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I do tend to recommend is obviously this all depends on your timeline and your budget and your skill level. When I started putting these costumes together in 2000, well, my first one was really over. When I decided I want to put together a costume for every doctor a few years ago, I had a budget of about $200 per costume. So I think the leaders in go to thrift stores and modify items and then upgrade from there. That's all I've done. I put together my outfits and over the last 3 years I've been upgrading because I'm crazy like that. But you can go at different levels.